Good morning, church. It is good to be with you here today. And today we meet King Josiah. And Josiah is almost at the end of the reign of kings of Judah. He's the last good king for sure. And after him, only 3 kings remain. About 23 years remain for the kingdom of Judah after his death. In King Josiah, he is attempting to do what is right in the eyes of the Lord, and in fact, he enacts some wonderful reforms, but he is effectively told, it's too late. You did well to pursue me, but judgment has already been decided. You just won't see it. That's your gift. And I think that is probably the saddest and would have been the most disheartening promise that a person could have been told of. Yeah, you're doing good, but it's too late. And it reminds me that God eventually won't tolerate sin anymore. In Romans 1, we hear how God will turn people over to their depraved mind, and they are not able to see him anymore. And we just want to pursue people before it's too late. That's really what we are all about. Before the door closes, we want people to hear about the good news of God and see that perhaps an opportunity for faith is given to them, because as Paul says, who can believe if they haven't heard? And folks, there's getting to be a generation of people out there that don't know. They haven't heard. They're not atheists because of rejecting God. They're atheists because they have never heard who God is. They don't even know what a church is, what the good news of the gospel is. And so we need to just be getting out there and sharing the truth. And then sometimes we have to understand the truth is hard. John 6 continues this series of Jesus teachings that are hard to understand. Unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you can have no part with me. You can't be saved. It's such a harsh and unusual teaching that the disciples leave. A lot, except the 12, it almost sounded like. They head out and they say, no, this is too weird for us. And there's a lot we can say about drinking Jesus' blood and eating his flesh and what that means and how that has been interpreted. But if we take a quick tour through history, the blood has always been prohibited for people to have. That's why they were so shocked. It was prohibited in the garden. There was no eating of meat or drinking blood. When God permitted meat to Noah, he still prohibited the blood because that was his, because the life was in it. When the law came, drinking blood was prohibited by the law because it had the life, it was God's. And when we get into the new covenant, Acts 15, the blood is still prohibited. And all leading up to this moment where Jesus says, but you have to drink mine because the life is in the blood. And we are to have Jesus' life within us. And there's some sense perhaps we could see this fulfilled as having God's Holy Spirit within us, that we have to have his life in us. We have to be his body. We have to have his life, or else we aren't saved, or else we're not right with the Lord. So as we read through that, we hear these words are spirit and these words are life. So let's pursue God because we want his life and he has created that desire in us. Let's not pursue God because of what he can give. Like those that wanted the food, Jesus says, you just came because you want some more food. We don't want that. We want to pursue the Lord because he is our God and he is our creator. And that is enough. And the fact that he gives us blessings beyond that only speaks to his goodness and his grace. I look forward to seeing you soon. I love you, church. Talk to you later.